Where is Ish? And is he really left the Joe Budden podcast for good? That is one of the many questions the fans would like to have answered. Because if you are a Patreon member of the JBP, you would remember last month they would put out a behind the scenes episode where Ian and Ish would talk about the upcoming contract and how they want to get stuff finalized.
What's wrong with you, yo? Of course I'm okay.
Okay. Contract's coming up. I want to make sure we can spend some time getting together and talking about it.
Well, I'm gonna say no. We can't talk.
No, of course, we should. Not yet. It's no rush. I'm bringing it up.
Sounds good. You alright?
I mean, you want to be here, right?
Hey, yo, Ian, shit. Hey, yo.
Wait, I'm asking you a question.
Of course, yeah. If I didn't want to be here, I'd be like, oh, wait.
You know,
I can't.
Now it seems like contract-wise everybody is on the same page as Ian and Joe. As you remember, Flip signed his extension with the podcast late last year, as did Mel. She signed an extension as well, on top of starting her own podcast, Hot and Bothered. So she seems pretty set as to what she's doing. Plus, she said she's never leaving the Joe Budden podcast on the latest episode. So unless Joe fires her, he has a lot on his plate when it comes to dealing with Mel. Now, Imani is Joe's longtime friend, so obviously he's gonna always have a placement on that podcast, but just keep him on that Patreon. I feel like he's good on Patreon. Leave him there, don't bring him to the main shows, just bring him when you guys want to talk shit and laugh. Don't bring him onto the Dr. Umar episode. Do not. Leave him at home. The same thing with Queen's Flip. Leave him at home. But let's move on to Ice. Ice doesn't care. Ice will show up as long as the money's there. And he obviously got paid because he brags about buying stuff. He has a driver for his girl. He's fine. Just pay him what he wants. It won't be much. And that will be it. Now, in terms of Parks will always have a job there. He doesn't have to worry. Plus, he's an OG member. And he's the reason for why the audio is so crisp every episode. So, he's not getting rid of him. Ian and Joe aren't doing that. Now, Mark Lamont Hill, he's a new addition to the pod. He's been there for what, six months? Something like that. And the fans love him. He also seems to be enjoying himself at that pod as well. And we're kind of seeing Mark Lamont Hill in a new light. We don't see him like this. We normally see him in his political bag, all serious out. So it's nice to see him on a pod where he can just kick back and talk shit with people. So he's also doing great, and I definitely don't see him leaving anytime soon. That just leaves us with Ish. I remember Joe saying on the 22nd of January to be exact, because this was the last time we would ever see Ish on the podcast. Joe would say this was Ish's last episode on the pod because he didn't sign for a re-up. Now at first I thought this was funny. I didn't really take it serious because they always have contract talks. Joe and Ish, Joe and Flip, they always talk about contracts on the podcast, to the point where the fans even thought it was annoying. So I thought nothing of it until more episodes started to come out and we didn't see Ish at all. So I'm really starting to think that Ish never signed for a re-up and Ish will no longer be on the podcast. But why? Why would Ish leave the podcast? Could it be due to Mark Lamont Hill? A lot of people thought Mark Lamont Hill was a lot better than Ish when it comes to him explaining his takes, when it comes to him giving out information, when it comes to him winning heated arguments. A lot of people thought Mark had Ish wiped down. Or could it be because Ish just simply doesn't like the cast? He doesn't like Mel. Every time she talks, he just looks like he wants to clothesline her. He hates how Flip talks about his personal life. Unprovoked. He doesn't like Imani because he thinks he cowers to Joe too much. He hates Joe because of the narratives upon narratives upon narratives he throws on him. To be honest, the only people that he seems cool with is Parks, Ice, and Mark. I mean, remember the time where he went to the bathroom, quote unquote, and then the cast found out that he went home without saying bye to them. Remember Ish not turning up to Podsgiving? I mean, everybody was there but him. Hey, I'll even give you something more fresh. Remember when Ish didn't tell anybody it was his birthday?
Shout out to you, man.
Ish, you should have told us it was your fucking birthday.
Facts. I'm mad about that, Ish. I really feel
you
it.
should have. That's odd.
Yeah,
that's odd.
It ain't.
It is odd. Only because people say, hey, man, what's going on with you? What you got going on this week?
Nothing.
Working.
Yeah. That would have been the perfect time to say, I ain't doing too much, man. It's my birthday on such and such a day.
What they got to do with the question?
Thank you, sir.
At the end of the day, people love you, and that is wrong though. Like there is ethics in friendship. That's wrong.
I'm with Flip.
There is, bro. Yo, my birthday's coming up.
Yeah, you off.
You don't gotta. You don't have to say.
You didn't want to be celebrated?
Yeah, niggas love you, bro.
I wanted to celebrate you.
Yeah.
Me too.
So since it was Thursday, we would have, done something on Friday.
Me too.
Cupcakes.
I like a good reason
Candy.
to go out and have a good time.
Cupcakes for a cupcake.
Right.
Hey, muffin for a muffin.
Yeah, that's funny. Niggas is different, bro.
Now, I could be wrong, but it just appears that Ish just doesn't like the cast. He turns up for work like any other 9-to-5 worker. He does his job at said workplace, then leaves. He's not about to kiki with his co-workers that clown him, that make fun of his relationship, that creates narratives about him, which could cause problems at home. No, I'm doing my job, I'm getting my bread, and I'm leaving. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys feel like Ish just had enough of the JBP? He's at his wit's end? Or do you guys feel like I'm overreacting? Do I need to sit this out and just wait? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Till next time, it's your boy The Kitchen. Deuces.